All right, I'm in the middle of editing part 3 of the body drop on the cab of the stupid truck when my iPad runs out of storage space, which is par for course. That happened in part 2. The difference is, rather than just throwing that footage away this time, I want to make an independent video, take that 5 minutes, let you see that, and that this video is coming from the middle of the upcoming part 3 video. Alright, so I was going to gloss over this and just do it and be done and show you what we got, but I figure somebody out there might benefit from the knowledge I'm about to give. Unfortunately, I'm also going to go off on a childhood story, so if you get bored, go to that time right there. That's where we'll pick back up with the work. When I was a kid, my dad worked at a poultry processing plant. He was a supervisor, so naturally my first summer job and every summer job I had after was at that processing plant. And I worked for any department that was willing to hire me, but the department I always ended up in just hanging out was maintenance department. They had all the cool tools. They had the coolest people working there that were all laid back and sharing their knowledge with me, and that was awesome. Now, one of these tools that they had was a metal brake. Big 8-foot long metal brake, but I didn't realize at the time it was a very unique metal brake because it had what I would consider to be dies or something that you could slip into the metal brake that were of various sizes, and you could literally take a die that's this big and a piece of metal that's this big, cut 2 slots this big, and bend only that one part, and the rest of the metal would be flat still. That seemed normal to me because it was the only metal brake I ever came into contact with at that point in my life. As a teenager, you don't realize what's available and what's not. Apparently, this metal brake was very high-end. You could literally build 5 sides of a big box without distorting the rest of the metal because of those dies. You just line up however many dies you need to make it happen. And the reason that I'm sharing that, the metal brake I have is a 3-foot metal brake, and it is a solid metal brake. It's a Harbor Freight special. I got it on sale because I'm a Inside Track member. And that brings us back to our current project. So here's the metal that we've got. We're going to bend these sections between these V-grooves, not 90 degrees, but we're going to bend them over. The problem is that I've got a 3-foot metal brake. If you insert this into a flat metal brake, this is what you end up with. That's at the right spot. That's close to the right spot, but we don't want to break it there because that is a curved line. And the reason that's curved is because that metal's going to get shaped to fit that curve. So the idea was we're going to stick it in a vise, bend each section. The problem is the smallest vise I've got is 4.5 inches wide, and there is 4.5 inch representation. That would work okay there. That would work okay there. And you can even do the end because you don't have to put the whole piece of metal in it. But when you get here, in order to bend this section, you're also going to be bending that and part of that at the wrong angle. So the solution is I went and grabbed some 3/8 inch flat stock, 3 inches wide. I didn't cut that. Well, I did cut it, but I didn't cut that for this. Anyway, so I'm going to take this flat stock, put it together, put it in the vise, and then I can put it on each side of here, squeeze it, and it won't be a full 4.5 inches wide. This is 3 inches wide this way, 2 1/4 this way. That'll allow us to bend that and that. You get it. So in an effort to shorten this video a little bit because it's getting too long, I went ahead and bent the areas that we're going to use the full vise to bend. I'm not happy with that bend, but that one's okay. That one's okay. And then, yeah, let's make this video shorter. Where's it at? Ah, there it is. And then I took my 2 pieces of metal and taped them together, and then I put a piece of a wooden pencil below them. That'll make this sit up further. I wish this was closer. Now we can slip our metal in between the 2 pieces of flat stock that we had. Get it lined up. Yeah, too close. There we go. And bend it. So now we've got a 4 1/2 inch wide vise, but we're only bending 2 1/4 inches worth of this metal. Now we just got to do that a couple more times. We can move forward. All right, so I'm not happy with this bend right here, but overall we'll work with it. Now the reason that we bent these tabs out before we curved that metal is because once we curved that metal, I believe it would be more difficult to straighten these sections out, make them flat again. So now that those are flat, we can use our beater bag and beat the curves into this metal, try and get this side with that curve while this side stays flat due to the fact that it's got a bend in it. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, we might have to do this all over, at which point you may or may not see this in the video. I don't know.